Hi all. In the last class, we discussed the Jahn-Teller effect. What is meant by Jahn-Teller effect? That is, any non-linear molecular system in a degenerate electronic state will be unstable and will undergo some kind of distortion which will lower its symmetry and energy and split the degenerate state. That is, if any non-linear molecular system is present, then it's according to Jahn-Teller effect, its energy is increases and it will be less stable, that is unstable, and it will undergo some kind of distortion and it lower its symmetry and energy. That's called Jahn-Teller effect. And in this case, two type of distortions occurs, that is Z-in distortion and Z-out distortion. And also we told that if in the case of an octahedral complex, if T2G is symmetric and EG is unsymmetric, there is a strong distortion occurs, and if T2G is unsymmetric and EG is symmetric, then there is a slight distortion occurs, and if T2G and both T2G and EG are symmetric, there will be no distortion occurs. And in the case of Z-in distortion, there will be more electron or extra electron in dx square minus y square orbital, and so the ligands present in the xy plane are repelled to a great extent. That is, here the ligands present in the xy plane are elongated and the ligands present in the z axis are compressed. That is called a Z-in case. The octahedral complexes, Z-axis ligands are compressed and XY-axis ligands are elongated in the case of Z-in complexes, and also in the case of Z-out complexes, there are more electrons in dz square orbital, and therefore the ligands along the Z-axis moved away and dz square orbital become more stable, and then dx square minus y square orbital, that is called a Z out case. Here Z axis ligands are elongated. That's called a Z out case. Now we are move on to consequences of Jahn-Teller effect. Let us see the spectroscopic observation. And first we take in the spectra of an octahedral complexes having the same ligand. All the 6 ligands are same. We know that all the 6 bond length are also same. Then we get only a single peak. That is, a Gaussian curve is obtained having a single curve. But if we are taking the copper 2 plus complexes, we know that in the case of copper 2 plus complexes, there is a strong Jahn-Teller distortion occurs. That is, in this EG orbitals are, in the case of Cu2 plus complexes, EG orbitals are unsymmetrical, so that there is a strong distortion occurs. And if we are taking the spectra of copper 2 plus complexes having all the ligands are similar, then we assumed to get only single curve, but we actually get a curve with 2 humps. That is due to Jahn-Teller effect. That is, due to Jahn-Teller effect, not all the bond length are equal. The axial bond length are higher than the equatorial bond length. That is, there is 2 types of bonds are there. Therefore, we get a Gaussian curve having 2 humps, and here T2G orbitals are splitted into dxy and dyz and dxz and dyz, here dxy, and also EG orbitals are splitted into dx square minus y square and d z square. And therefore here there is an electronic transition from T2g orbitals to Eg orbitals. Both peaks are obtained. The second case, we also know that the stability of complexes, we studied in the degree classes, the stability of complexes from left to right along a period, there is a decrease in the ionic radii and hence the stability increases. We know that the ionic radii decreases. There is smaller the metal ions, the higher stable will be the complex. Therefore, from left to right along a period, there is a decrease in the ionic radii and also there is an increase in the stability. But in the case here, in the case of transition metal series, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc, we assumed that there is a gradual increase in the stability of complexes, but in the last step here, copper 2 plus complex is more stable than Zn2 plus. That is due to Jahn-Teller effect. Here the copper 2 plus, the extra stability of copper 2 plus complex is due to Jahn-Teller distortion. Okay, and the next consequences is this is also we already studied in the degree classes, that is chelate complexes are more stable. We know that the chelate complex, if the number of chelate ring increases in a complexes, then the complex would be more stable. That is we are assumed. But in the case of CuEn thrice, there is En is the ethylene diamine, it is a bidentate ligand and it form chelate rings, and there are 3 chelate rings are present, and we assumed to be this complex would be highly stable, but it is not like that. This complex is unstable. That is due to Jahn-Teller distortion. That is, we assume it in a 3-dimensional picture. Here 3 En rings are there, and according to Jahn-Teller distortion, this the ligands in the z-axis are elongated. Therefore, there occurs a strain in the molecule. If not all the bond length are not equal, then there will be a strain in the molecule. That is, there is 3 rings are present. That's why it is unstable. Okay. And in the next case, also here CuEn twice, H2O twice. Here 2 bidentate ligands are there and 2 rings are there, and also in this case there are cis and trans complex exist. In this first one is trans, that is 2 H2O molecules are opposite position, and also 2 En ligands are opposite position. Here this complex, it is cis, that is H2O molecules are present in cis position and 2 En are present in adjacent position. Therefore this molecule is cis. And in this case the trans molecule is highly stable because there is no strain in the molecule. Here if the, according to Jahn-Teller effect, if the 2 ligands in the z-axis are elongated, there will be no strain. But in this case, there is a ring is present in the axial and equatorial position combined, and therefore if there is an elongation in the z-axis ligands, then there would be a strain in the molecule. This is due to, therefore the trans complex is more stable than cis complex. This is also due to Jahn-Teller effect. And these are some examples of Jahn-Teller distorted complex. Here all these complexes, there is copper 2 plus ion is there, and therefore strong distortion is there. Therefore all the bond length are not in equal. Here CuBr2 CuBr2, there is 4 equatorial ligands are there, but it is in the compressed manner, and 2 bromine axial ligands, 2 bromine are in the elongated manner. Therefore, this only exhibited, and it is very close to the copper. That's why the copper CuBr2 have linear structure. We say that. And the bond length is different. Here 4 bromine at for 240 picometer and 2 bromine at 318, and all other cases are like that. These are all about the consequences of John Teller distortion. First one, we are taking the spectra, and the second one, we are taking the stability of copper 2+ complexes on, and also this order, the stability order of these complexes are called Irving-Williams series, and the extra stability of copper 2 complexes due to John Teller effect. And also the third case, we are discussed the chelate effect, and this against the chelate effect, we always says that if the number of chelate rings are increases, then the stability will be increases, but in this case it is opposite. And next case, we are taking the same complexes having cis and trans isomerism, and in this case we observed that trans isomer is more stable than cis isomer due to less strain in the molecule. And also we discussed the copper 2+ complexes. Here all the 4 equatorial bonds are at the same bond length, and all the 2 axial bond length are same. That's all about John Teller effect. Thank you.